Hello and welcome to the Business Thinking Podcast. I'm Alex, and as you know,
Hi, Joe.
yes, welcome. So we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic today, which is what do we tell every client before starting a data warehousing project?
Well, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. Otherwise, you wouldn't be hiring us. And I think a good analogy is it's like giving birth to a child. You're not just creating it, you're committing to nurturing it and building it over time. You're committing to an endeavor. It's not just you don't just install an app or press a button to create a Snowflake account. That there's more to do. It's an ongoing commitment to data quality, to governance, to performance tuning, to continually involving the business, getting business buy-in, and building real business benefit over time. Right.
It's just Christmas.
A data warehouse is not just for
Christmas.
Data warehouse is not just for this new dashboard that
it's not just for a dashboard. It's not a silver bullet solution. Your business isn't going to magically suddenly be it's optimal. It's perfect. Everything's smooth.
Yeah, it's like the penguins in Madagascar. They get to Antarctica and they're like, now what?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's you don't just install a database and go, now what?
Yeah.
You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a structure. You've got to have real business benefit for doing it, because it's not something you pick up. It's the cost of ownership.
You don't just do it on a whim. You do have to have a strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Data strategy, architecture, all that good stuff. And that's part of what we do as well. And just to clarify, this is not an advertisement for our consultancy. We were talking about it generally.
But it is a good.
It is a good ad. Yeah. So I think one of the main things, we were saying, is you don't just build it for a single dashboard. That might be your high priority at the start.
It's your first vertical.
Yeah, exactly. There might be an initial business case that you want it for this dashboard, but it shouldn't just be about that dashboard. It should be about the bigger picture of what you can start doing with it once you have this data warehouse in place. It's not just for one source system for one dashboard. It might be for many source systems for many dashboards. It might be for eventually all areas of the business. I think the important thing is you need to have a vision.
Yes.
For it.
Yeah, no,
right?
That's completely fair. I think if you know what you want to bring in initially, that's a good starting point. It will grow naturally. It'll grow as you feel the need for it. Not feel the need for it. It'll as more data needs to come in, is you need to enrich your dashboards you're doing already, or you need to get more sources of data in order to create new dashboards or whatever. It's going to grow over time, and you just need to be able to plan ahead for what you are going to be bringing in. You can't just bring in things entirely off the cuff.
Yeah, well, it's like, we've had clients where the rest of the business has really started seeing the cool stuff that the team that we're working with directly is able to start doing, and they suddenly say, "Oh, can we do this with the data warehouse?" And that is the point, where you've done something right, because other areas of the business wake up suddenly and go, "Oh, can we do this?" And it's a good situation to be in, where you're having to fend off different areas of the business, saying, "Oh, we can't do that right now. We've got this other priority, but we want to talk to you. We want to understand your use case, and yes, we can do that. Let's talk about how we can best serve that use case.
We can do it soon."
Soon, TM. Yeah. Jokes aside, you need to, technically that's change, right? That's change in the warehouse. That's bringing in potentially new source systems. That's bringing in new outputs. That's bringing in new teams. That's scaling the capability of your data warehouse. So you need to treat that properly. You shouldn't just be saying yes to everyone. Yeah. I think. Sorry,
I was going to say, it's a bit like how we spoke before about a little bit about how AI and stuff like that is, when you start with it, it's going to be, if you're making an agent, an AI agent, something like that, is when you first start with it, it's going to be a bit naff.
Oh yeah,
It's going to be a bit naff. And you could say the same about a data warehouse to begin with. It's going to be super limited in what you do. You've got to sort of, like we said, you've got to treat it and nurture it. I think the real thing that you have to, get across to the client is it takes time.
absolutely. However, what you're saying is it's limited in the grand scheme of things. You can actually do quite a lot in a 6-week period. There'll be one business problem that you can solve and prove value.
Yeah.
However, that is limited in the grand design, in the grand vision of what that data warehouse is capable of.
Yeah.
It's technically limited, but it's not. That's still delivering value.
Yes.
To be absolutely clear.
I mean, because we've been working on some data warehouses for what, 3 years at least on some of them.
Yeah, but that's not one project. It's lots and lots of projects.
I know, but it's one warehouse. It's
absolutely,
yeah, exactly. So it's just, I'm saying that's taken a long time to get to the point where it encompasses many different parts of the business.
Yeah, but it started off as one smaller project to prove value that built.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think going back to the earlier point about you're inheriting something, or not inheriting something, you're committing to something, and it's not just about the technology. It's not just about getting Databricks installed and that's it. Creating a Snowflake account. You're committing to a bigger promise to the business that, hey, we want this to do something. It's a mindset shift of your data is an asset, it's a product, and it's something, like with all products, you expect it to improve over time. Sure. iPhones, not an advertisement for Apple, but iPhones come a long way since the last one. Although the last few versions are basically the same thing, different sizes and different colors, but that's besides the point.
Phones in general.
Well, yeah. We digress.
Yes.
But going back to I really like to talk about this because it's it's so important to think about. I'm a diehard developer, right? I'm very technologically oriented. However, even I'm aware that the people process technology triangle is so important. You can get all the technology you like if the people's mindset and day-to-day workflow and processes don't change. There's no point having that technology.
No, literally. It's done to that point.
Yeah, because you could say if you're all working off of Excel, and actually those Excel spreadsheets aren't being used, then clearly there's something that you need to do for people to value those, right? It might be that improving the technology and changing the technology underneath makes that data more reliable or delivered and more trustworthy.
It's about that. It's about making, as with a lot of things in life, is making someone care about what you're doing.
Yeah, and to do that, you need to show value, and to show value, you need to speak to them and their team about, what are the actual pains that you guys are having? How can we solve those pains? And actually, what people forget is what's currently working. Right?
Yeah.
You come in and go, oh, this is all rubbish, we're going to change it all. You're going to upset some people because some things they might be happy with.
Yeah, but it's a similar thing of going, some things might be. You could go in and, by bringing in this data and creating your own reports and these new dashboards, they could be completely at odds with something that already exists.
Exactly. Yeah. You might be reinventing the wheel. So actually, the thing to look at is what things are you not doing at all, or what things aren't working for you now that you really wish were working for you now.
But what if you've made a new, better wheel? I mean, but seriously though, like the wheel is now, it looks a lot. It's going to look fancier, but also, it runs on. It's now for off-road and stuff like that, rather than just it's not track.
Yeah, it's got chains on it for winter.
It's got chains on it for winter. Yeah, exactly. But my point is, like, let's say you go in and like that wheel now is saying that you've got, instead of you're getting one result with the warehouse, I'm getting a different result. What does that then mean? Does that mean the warehouse is right? Does that mean the original business was wrong? What happens then?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because if you could be processing it in a slightly different way, yeah, it's like what's the source of truth now?
That's that. Then you've got real buy-in. That's what you need to have buy-in at that point, because some people are going to be working off numbers for, or a way of producing numbers for months, years, however long, and that's going to be their source of truth. So if you go in and you're immediately at odds with something they've accepted as truth, they're going to reject it.
Yeah, they're going to be upset about that because well, it's not my version of the truth.
Yeah.
Right. And the really important thing to remember there is they are not necessarily wrong. They are just a different kind of correct.
Yes.
It sounds like a really politically correct way of putting it, but it is the case.
Yeah, it's in someone's view. It's a bit like how you say in statistics. It's the statistics can say whatever you want them to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Correlation, causation, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, you can make stats. You can omit certain parts of data. Just go, yeah, that looks like an upwards trend. If I ignore this bad stuff, you know, you can get it to say whatever you want. And perhaps someone has always been sort of, not necessarily duped, but they've always had this sort of slightly skewed point of data, and that's, like we said, that's become their source of truth. So when you are now presenting the data warehouse with all the data as an asset, regardless of what it looks like, regardless of data quality, that's a shock to the system. There's going to be a rejection, and
it's a mindset shift.
Yep. Exactly. So you need, and it goes back to the point about nurturing, people need to realize that this is not a threat to them.
Yeah.
This is, okay, this is saying something different. It's a work together to wonder why it's doing something different. It's not this is going to replace everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not immediately. It's not a threat to them or the business. It's a different way of looking at the data. And data, at the end of the day, there's not really much skew on it. Data is data. Data is what is put in, what is captured. It's not information at that point in time. There's no context to it.
Yep. Data is not information. Yes. Data is data.
Yes.
As long as you add it up correctly and do your joins in your SQL right, it can tell you something new.
Yeah.
and that becomes information.
That becomes information.
Yeah.
So it's about managing people once again and saying to them, this is fine. Do not worry.
Yeah.
The data warehouse will take time.
If anything, to building a data warehouse the technology is almost the easy part. Sorry, all data engineers everywhere, but the technology is almost the easy part. It's the hearts and minds. So I think the main thing to kind of understand is you're changing the way people think about data. You're not just getting a database. You are getting a brand new decision engine. You're automating out some of the things that people shouldn't be spending their time on, and giving them a new way to think about the data and a new way to make business decisions, allowing them to focus their time and energy on things that actually matter.
Exactly.
Be productive.
They don't need to be manually handling that spreadsheet anymore. The data warehouse handles that. They can go on and learn new things or do other things with their data now.
Exactly. Yeah. It's becoming a data product and a change to their way of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, it's the other thing is just to say that now, sort of further to that point though, it's now the data, it's not everyone's problem, but it's everyone's asset at that point. It's not just IT. It's not just the infrastructure guys underneath
all those data people over there doing their data things.
It's not those little gremlins over
those
there.
Nerds
doing it. It's now everyone's baby. Everyone is, everyone in the extended family of this data warehouse. We're all godparents, aunts, uncles.
It takes a village.
It takes a village.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes, a whole village to look after the data warehouse. And, that village mentality.
And to be very clear, don't let that scare you. That everything we've just said can feel very overwhelming. But the important thing to remember is you have to start somewhere. You can start small. You can start with solving one thing and develop it from there. Right?
Yeah. No, completely.
You don't have to solve all 20 of the last decades of business issues all at once.
Don't boil the ocean.
Prioritize. Don't boil the ocean. Exactly. Oh, coming out with some good buzzwords, aren't we?
I know. Yes.
Our next podcast will be about buzzwords. Yeah. Actually, see you on the next one where we talk about buzzwords.
Yes.
And don't forget to catch up on all of our other YouTube videos, our previous ones, and we're LinkedIn. We'd be upsetting the marketing people if we didn't let you know we've just come out with a new website.
It's very true. It looks very snazzy.
We're very happy with it. We would be biased, but
if we weren't.
Yeah.
Well, it's gone past our UAT of us accepting it, so now we're happy.
Exactly. We think it looks much better. Information is much more available. The data is no longer data; it's information.
It's true. Oh my God, it's almost like that's just what we've been told.
The whole point.
The whole point.
Practice what you preach, folks.
Precisely.
Have a good one. See you on the next one.
Au revoir.